Hello, my beautiful, beautiful 1111 family. I have missed you guys so incredibly much. I'll tell you what, let's get over here a little bit. We're going to be talking about this beautiful little guy here named Sebastian Rogers. He happens to be missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was reported missing on February 26th of this year of 2024. In that, his mom was the last to be with him from all that we have been told. And they had a really incredibly busy day. She goes home to put him to bed. The next day, she wakes him up. He's not there. And yeah, so this is his dad, Seth. You can see how happy them two are. He loves snakes. He absolutely loved reptiles. And he loved Minecraft. He loved any kind of building. And this is Seth, the real father. And you can see he wore the shirt so many times. You guys, he had this made. And Sebastian was extremely important to Seth. Seth's world has been disrupted in a way that nobody can fix until he has his son home. I want to welcome everybody to 1111 True Crime, everybody's favorite true crime voice on the YouTube street. Hi, Joe Puglish and Jenny Vlogs. Remember, you guys, you're watching a live or a replay. I want to send a shout out to you beautiful replay crew because you guys matter. You beat that algorithm. And welcome back and welcome home, everybody. Thanks for showing up for the live, for the chat, and however you support us. We greatly appreciate it. We're always working for the one that doesn't have a voice. And as you can see, they've done a lot of prayer vigils for Sebastian, many of them. And they're is hard to understand, but the mother and the stepfather have not shown up, to my knowledge, to one vigil. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of thinking and just clearing my head and doing my gardening, getting my flowers planted, and so forth. But no matter how I think about it, to me, it all boils down to that house. And I really feel that something may have happened at the house. And it's weird, you guys, because... And this was an 1111 true crimer that sent it to Mama D and email. And I don't know where they got it. They never said. They said they watched it on a video. So who knows? But it was a very interesting point. And that's that very early on, we heard that on the day before Sebastian went missing. So I'm assuming Saturday, but it could have been Sunday. One of the neighbors said that both Katie and Sebastian arrived home in the vehicle. Sebastian hopped out of the car, grabbed the mail, and ran up to the front door and couldn't get in. And then he circled back around and went back in through the garage. Okay? And that's the last time she'd seen him. Which at the time didn't really matter until you listen to what the mother says. And the mother states that Sebastian knew the door code. And that's why he would have went out the front door. Because it's the only door that he could get out and it's still locked behind him. Now I have a worry. Okay, so let's get down to what, because as hit right on the nail. So, depending on how fancy this door locker is, it might get like a new code with this, because she is skilled at security systems. So if this door code lock is connected to some sort of security system, it may automatically reset the code weekly. I think Mr. Ifs brought this up, or monthly, or something of this nature. Or could it just be manually reprogrammed? So it made me look at it, and I'm like, wait a minute. What if it, let's go with just one possibility. Let's just say it automatically resets on a monthly basis. Okay? And the security system notifies you of the new code. If that's true, could Sebastian have went out if mom, let's just hypothetically say, mom dozed off a little earlier than she said, like an hour or two earlier, snoozing on the couch, forgot all about the world. Let's just play that for a minute. Not paying no attention. What if Sebastian went out for some reason and was just going to go on the porch and he couldn't get back in? What would he do? Would he go to a neighbor? Would he decide he's just going to walk to his dad's? He knows the way to his dad's, right? Would he start walking, and could that have been a pickup point for somebody saying, hey, hop in, little fella, I'll give you a ride. Where are you going? Your dad's? Absolutely, which is horrifying. But it makes you wonder. At least it does me, right? It scares me. Because I'm not alone when I say we've heard from the real father, Seth, mention many times that Katie is not as aware of what all is going on with Sebastian, and that's how something terrible happened to Sebastian when he was younger, right? And so I want to thank my beautiful 1111s because I had a restful weekend where I stepped away from all the cases. I just kept Sebastian and Micah in my heart, and Summer Wells and Michael. I took them all in my heart, and I planted flowers and recharged. And when I came back, I checked my emails, and you guys got me going again. And you inspire me to ask those questions for you. So I'm also your voice, but you can be your voice too. Make sure and leave your comment, and I'll share it with everybody. Joe Puglish says, I believe that may be exactly what happened. I was thinking about it. He likes to play ninja, right? Now, there was some neighbor that got me so confused because they were like, there's some shadow I saw by a silhouette at 11:30, and then the lights went off in the dining room and all this. I have no idea if it's absolute speculation or not. None. But I got to thinking, if Sebastian got locked out because that door code changed, hence he could not get in. Obviously, this child had went through the front door many times having to know the code, because he expected to be able to enter the home. But he was unable to, so the code had been changed. Whether it's automatic or whatever, the code was changed. Or at least he couldn't access it. He couldn't remember it. Something. He couldn't get in. So he doubled back and he went towards the garage. All right, now let's change this. Let's say, now here you go, you guys. What if, what if the child was like, oh, I got to take my garbage out? What if he had his socks on? Like Jennifer Coppin said, right? What if he had his socks on? He's like, I'm cool. I can run out in my socks. I can put this garbage out. But mom is preoccupied with something going on with CP on the phone. Like not paying no attention. So is there a doorbell system that if he's locked out, he can be like, ding dong, I'm locked out, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, till somebody comes to the door? And then the other thought was, if this neighbor is even remotely possibly right, and there's a shadow around his window at approximately between 11 and 11:30 p.m., is this Sebastian trying to get into his bedroom window? Shannon Beck says, my code box can also be locked manually, and I think KP locked him out to teach him a lesson, and it went terribly wrong from there. Ooh, makes you wonder. Zenobia. Jilly Lane says they aren't looking because they know he's no longer alive, in my opinion. Susan Bennett. Hello to all from Port Orchard, Washington. Well, thank you for joining us, Susan. As says, if there was, it wasn't working that night. Well, and it's weird because it's all dark. Katie has told us the only lights on. This is right verified by Katie on the Nancy Grace show. She stated when Nancy said there were no lights on, and Katie's mom, oh my golly jeepers, nope. A heck no there. Sebastian's mom, Katie, said no. Well, only my garden little solar panel lights, that was it. So, was this a moment to teach him to get over his fear? I don't know. I mean, it would be the worst possible parenting you could do, in my opinion. Starlight Moonbeam Spoon, he's not a dog. Right. That's what we're saying, too. We agree with you. Yeah, we're not suggesting that that would even be remotely a good choice in any way. As says, does anyone remember the first time they talked about the door lock and combo system? I do. She said Sebastian knew the code. And remember, Chris Wells, oops, sorry, Chris Proudfoot has stated he knows that Sebastian walked out that door and onto that front porch. Katie has stated or asked, or yeah, I guess it was more of a statement. I don't know why he walked out that front door. I don't know, and I don't know how many more rumors we will hear in this. I'm trying to stay out of the rumors. I'm trying to focus on things that could explain to us something so we know where to look for this kid and to get his name out there, show his face out there, and do my best to keep the awareness on Sebastian and not the, drama out there about PIs and dogs and all that. No, I'm trying to focus on him. Trying to give people thoughts to think on. I wonder, dude, I've been asked many, many times, was there a life insurance policy on this child by anybody? Oh, there was a note. I have notes here, so forgive me if I'm slow a little bit tonight because I had a lot to write down before I came live. Joe Puglish says, I think he overheard his mom, stepdad say they were going to put him in trash. And when they sent him put out trash, it may have scared him and he ran. In my opinion, right. It does make you wonder if he heard something on the call, even if he misunderstood it, and he got freaked out and left. Well, and Jennifer says, in my opinion, he didn't leave that house and get locked out. Well, it does, the timing is weird, like substantially weird, right? Chris, okay, let's talk about some of this. And I know some of y'all don't like me talking about this, but I'm still gonna, because it is important to me under what circumstance the child went missing. And when we think about the circumstance, it could tell us if he went on his own, right? Or if something nefarious happened. But I want to bring this up real quick. And that is, I am really frustrated more than I have ever been in any case by the statement that they have found no evidence of foul play and therefore there's no criminal investigation. Because that's putting the horse before the cart. In order for you to find foul play evidence, you have to be looking for it. Boom. Like it's a duh boom. Like a dud. Because it's not like you wouldn't know that. So what kind of games are being played by telling the public that there is no sign of foul play, there is no evidence of foul play, yet you didn't look anywhere? Mm-mm. No. You didn't do any kind of criminal investigation. It was, as she says, that sigh was right on time with mine. Jennifer Swain says, but that doesn't explain why the mom didn't look for him. Or did look for him? I don't know. You mean when she drove around? I'd like to know where she went with that car in the morning to look for Sebastian. I heard the school. So, without it being a criminal investigation and all this, why is Sumner County downplaying Sebastian's missing case? You heard me right. Why are they downplaying the importance of an Amber Alert child? What do I mean by that? They've had one presser, and they didn't even have a picture of Sebastian according to his dad. Seth also stated on the Pascal show that he got a hold of some CPS reports that are confidential and tight to the vest, which I understand and respect. Those CPS reports he turned over immediately to Sumner County and TBI. Check it out. Sumner County claimed they already had them. But guess who did not? TBI. Why? Why is Sumner County not handing over evidence that could lead to a criminal investigation? If there is motive, such as if we have to come back out here again, we're going to take it serious. Anything like that. If that could be putting pressure on parents who, as parents, we know some parents in past cases have been pressured by CPS and couldn't get their stuff under control and their kids missing. I'm not saying this happened in this case, but why is Sumner County downplaying Sebastian Rogers' missing case? Counties next door in the law enforcement do not all know about Sebastian Rogers missing. We've heard that. Great point. You get a gold star. Boom! Starlight Moonbeam Spoon. Shouldn't those reports have been in his possession? He should just have been notified. Right. You're so right. The actual biological real father of the child, who currently and did and always has had 50% custody, in my humble opinion, should have been notified if there was any CPS involvement with the child's well-being, even a false report. Jill says they should be checking to see if there was a time and date stamp on that digital keypad. Then we would know when people were going and wait, let me read that part over. When people were going in and out that day. Excellent point. That's on our whiteboard. You get a gold star. Y'all drop it like it's hot. You're very intelligent. My 1111 family, we don't mess around. Y'all are intelligent. Like, seriously. I wish we had our own investigative team. We'd probably have these kids found, or at least know what happened. Jill also says, who would just happen to be driving by in that area at that time of night? He didn't go anywhere by himself. So, we all know Sebastian's not an eloper, but he loves to run. We've heard it from parents, right? Everybody is at least in agreement that Sebastian loves to run. Could he have thought in his perception, his autistic perception. Hey, I can't get in the house. It's pitch black. I'm going to run to my dad's. I'll be a ninja and run to my dad's. We've heard, and I know it's from very, very early on, we heard there was an Uber type vehicle in the area, and I can't remember what time. What time was it? Like 1-ish? Or am I wrong? Dreamweaver 2 says, okay, TPI, the ball is in your court. You got information for motive, don't you? What are you going to do about it, huh? Maybe start really taking this case a little more serious. Oh, 1000% agree. Jennifer Swain, you get a huge gold star. I think we all agree with you. This investigation has so dropped the ball. Time for fresh eyes. Amen. Amen. Poppy Love says, do we know if the home trash was taken to the local Gallatin, Tennessee, and when it changed after fire and Hendersonville home trash started going to Nashville? I don't know, but maybe somebody out there does and they'll post the answer. I can't keep up with the whole trash thing. We did hear an update if you were watching the Pascal show, and Seth gave that interview with Tony Mathis, all right? He talked, I think that's when it was. It could have been a different interview. But he talked about, he checked into what was considered to be a landfill next to second generation's realty or what building construction place. And Seth talked to him on the phone, and he said, it's just, I felt like I had a bug crawling on my face, and I just freaked out. I've been gardening all day. Give me a minute, y'all. If I have a spider on me, you're going to hear me do some whoops. Hold on. I mean, that could be life-threatening. I could have a heart attack. Okay. Whew. Creep me out. I lost my train of thought. Oh. Second generation. And Seth said it's basically a transfer unit. And so nothing stays there. They basically sort it and pull it out of there in trucks, and it gets taken to the A place. I don't remember where he said. Fresh eyes and freshy, says Az. I agree. Bosmaka says, the theory takes away the accountability and responsibility of KP. She's ultimately responsible, in my opinion. KP's from the Virginia area and the South Carolina area. And then they've lived in Ohio, I think, when they were married. Where else? California, Georgia, and Tennessee, if I can remember. Hey, Joyful Dolphin. How you been, sweetheart? Good to see you. The goat? I don't have the goat with me right now. Oh, I hid the goat because I didn't want the dogs to get it. Hold on, I found it. All right, you guys, we're going to use goat. If you're not familiar, it is our mascot. It's a little goat. I squeeze it and it screams really loud. All right, here you go. If you got your boss listening or you're trying to fall asleep, this is your little wake-up call. There you go, lovely. Southern, thank you for being a Starlight member for 2 months. I greatly appreciate all my beautiful Starlight seeds. Thank you. And my Starlight buds. You guys are incredible. Truly. Kathy F. says, what happened with the body parts found in the pond last week? ID or anything yet? I didn't know there were body parts found in a pond. I was only gone 3 days. My golly. Why is not... I'm doing my big Hulk, Green Hulk. Remember the Incredible Hulk? I'm doing his voice. Did he have a voice? Hulk mad. Yeah. Why nobody email me? Dreamweaver 2 says, when you saw the spider, I thought that would be a good goat time. Oh, I didn't see it. I felt it crawl across my forehead, but it was really just a piece of my hair, but I'm all triggered because I went flower shopping and I loaded all them flowers and dirt in my car. Then I came home and I planted and gardened and weeded and I showered, but I'm like, okay, still worried. 3 hours from Memphis, says Westcraft. Body parts in the lake, says Mr. Ifs. I'm with you, Mr. Ifs. Somebody update us. What lake? When were they found? How could I have not heard that? I've really been out of tune. Hello, Barry Happy. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Body wasn't related. There you go, Westcraft. Thank you. I haven't heard. I wonder whose body that was. How creepy. Now I'm itchy, says As. I'm just saying, I may have to take another shower. It's warm in here anyway, a nice cool shower. Excuse me. Hey, Jenny Vlogs. So, you guys, what time, I'm just going to throw another question on my whiteboard out here. What time did CP's mom get there in the morning? Right? Because Seth said he got there. The real dad says he arrives at Sebastian's home, right? And Mr. Chris Pissy Pants, because, you know, in my opinion, he likes to piss his pants on YouTube. Anyway, he was in a crane, right? We've got from the PI that he was in that crane at 5:30 a.m. So they three-way, meaning the mother and Chris, just a little after 6-ish, like 6:30, okay? They three-way into the sheriff's office where there's no 911 recording and it doesn't track your location because it's so much better for them where they're located than calling 911. Okay. So if all that's going on and she's looking for Sebastian and staying on the phone with him, did they then three-way in the mother of Chris? Did she hot-butt it? Did she hot, sad put it over there? Oh, Lord. Did she hot butt it over there and be there? Or, I'm just asking, was she already at the house when Katie called Chris? Really makes me wonder. Dreamweaver 2 says, how are you heard was when KP and them guys talked to their personal sheriff that they came to the house to talk to KP, but it wasn't just KP. It was a Bower Sox with KP when the cops got there is what I heard. Okay. I added is what I heard because we have to be careful. Yeah, the hot butts. The hot butts. I can't say proud butt. I'll say proud Pete. The body parts found was on Nashville Newscast, then nothing else. Thank you, Kathy S. Hello, Don. How are you? You say, in my opinion, it was Katie's last day with Sebastian before he mysteriously disappeared. By the so-called family, in my opinion, he never went home. Don, you and I have the same theory. I mean, I try other theories because I'm always open-minded and I don't want to get tunnel vision. But if I had to take a polygraph and they were to put that on me and they were to say, Danny, Mama D, what is your honest-to-God feeling that happened with Sebastian? My honest-to-God feeling would be exactly what Don H69 said, that this was premeditated, prearranged. There was a handoff after that last supper. And I'm going to leave it at last supper and let you draw your conclusion. But that's just one of my theories. It's my gut feeling, and I pray I'm wrong. Hey, Brognado, good to see ya. Hey, Jenny Blogs, I know. I hate to think that way. But I've begun to feel it even stronger. Ditto over here too. It's like the last meal type of thing, says As. I mean, I don't know. Joyful says he did go home. There was a green truck. Thank you, Joyful. Lovely. Um, so I think this is interesting because I'm going to tell you now when Mr. PP, Pissy Pants, Mr. PP. Oh, I mean, the initials PP, and it, never mind. When Mr. PP said Sebastian went missing between midnight and 6 a.m., y'all heard that, right? How many times? Because they hung up at midnight, she went to wake him up at 6, and he wasn't there. So when he says midnight to 6, that makes me personally think of him controlling the narrative and how everything he says seems to be just full of crap. And so it makes me think he went missing between 6 p.m. and midnight, the reverse. And I don't believe anything he says. And I think that's strange. I think that's strange that he would even know that 12 to 6. If they were on the phone, how do you darn sure know that that kid's in bed after the thud? How do you know that wasn't him saying, yeah, I'm all right, as they climb out their bedroom window? You don't know. I mean, and she's dozing off on the couch. She said so herself. How does she know he didn't just walk out that front door between 10 and 11? Truth for us, please tell me the last exchange wasn't selling anything, anyone. Yeah. Okay, Joyful, you got your question, lovely. Who has a green truck and what you talking about, lovely? We got somebody wanting to know, hon. Jackie Bushel and Mama D. We want to know. Robin York Groom, you're always welcome. And Number Late, you're always welcome, lovely. We got a hot butt and some peepees. It's PP Hot Butt now. PP Hot Butt. That's who I talk about. PP Hot Butt. Jenny Blogs, I feel bad for getting on to my kids. I just never want them to feel bad. My mind won't even go there, but it lights a fire under me. I wish I could do something. Hey, Fallon Love, you say, isn't the stepdad's relatives connected to people in power in the area? So rumored, lovely. So rumored. They definitely had their roots in that town with some... Let me put it this way. When you have a real estate company, or you sell real estate for the level that you do, and then you also have a construction site, you own a construction company, all right? You've got a good chunk of control of that, of the society. Because those that want those big fancy homes, that want them in town, I'll be honest, the fancier the home is in town, the more they're in with the cool crowd. Right, darling? Because if you really have a lot of money and you're going to build a big house, and you really don't care what other people think, you can go build it to have your own privacy on your own land somewhere out in the distance, right? Where you can, play golf in your backyard, not worry about your neighbor's mailbox right there. Just my humble opinion. Elson Sutherland says, wish that was my name. Yep. Pee-pee hot butt. I agree, Jennifer Swain. Stepdad, she says, in my opinion, is a bile human. Chrissy Poo Pull-Up Pants gave KP an ultimatum. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the name. And she gave Sebastian his best last day, sadly, in my opinion. She's very happy. I'm sorry, love, but I agree with you too, and it breaks my heart. Truly. Don H69, in my opinion, Katie on the phone for Chris for 3 hours was him letting her know it was all sorted out because he was breaking out over it. Freaking out over it. Okay. Okay, Joyful has the answer to the green truck. I don't know, Mama D. Oh, I know as he fitted into green, a truck, and then all I know is he's surrounded by water, and there's a U in Ireland, a bridge, and he was carried out by the green. Yep. Okay, thank you, lovely. You meant faded into green? Okay, love. Thank you for sharing. Oh, island, not island? Or island, not Ireland? Okay. I think your voice to text is kind of clogged. Joyful, you give me the cutest comments. But when it does come to Sebastian, I really did want to understand this whole door locking system. Did did that ever play a part in it? Why was the locks already changed the day before he went missing? Why couldn't Sebastian get in the front door? It really makes me wonder if this is premeditated. I mean, face it, Faith wasn't coming back in that house. Not as long as Sebastian lived there. And what was Chris's goal ultimately? To get Faith back, right? That's what he wanted at all costs, it would seem. And in that, I got to thinking about it. He would never want a missing child because he would never get his hands on Faith. And so, with that being said, and knowing that he, not that I know where he was all night, but knowing that Nina talked about the family helping and all that kind of stuff, I think Chris was protected, and I think he was near his crane. And that's all I got to say about that. And I think that Mommy Dearest is my prime suspect, in my humble opinion. Thank you, Dreamweaver. Have a good night at work, love. Dana Lynn, hello, love. You say, see, one interview, she says they were on the phone for 3 hours. Another one, she was on the couch reading a chapter in a class, and she's talking. Her story changes. Hey, Kim French, long time no see. You say he didn't walk out of any door. He left in KP's car, in my opinion. Just feel it in my gut. Amen, sister. Good question, Dana Lynn. What about the other locks on the doors? CP says only the front door has a coded lock. Yeah, we don't know what's really true. They could be lying to us. Lisa Lynn, hello and welcome. You said, does anyone know what happened with the custody case? Yeah, what happened there, you guys? Somebody give us an update. Jennifer Swain says, but how could they know by changing the code that something nefarious would happen? Well, that's why I think that it was a handoff before Sebastian went missing. I think, I said that wrong. I think it was changed before Sebastian went missing, and then there was a handoff. I think the coding was purposely changed. Probably, just like I've said all along, I suspect that all of the security cameras and everything basically got put back into Katie's work van. I think there was tons of all kinds of stuff. I think knowing Chris and being as controlled as he is and acts like he was able to be there all the time when we know he was only home every other weekend and that was only till February. To me, I think he had cameras, somebody had cameras in that house and he could see what was going on. And I feel like the cameras got pulled and put in Katie's work vehicle. What do you think? Oz agrees. Robin York groom. Yes, through the garage. Exactly. Truth Ref says first interview, no thud. She thought that one up overnight for the second interview. Well, wait. It was actually the third interview. So here's how it went, you guys. The first interview, he said good night. It was 9 o'clock. He said good night to his puppies. He told him he loved them. He told his mom he loved him. And he went to bed. That was it. The second interview, she said she heard a noise. That's all she says on the second interview at 10 o'clock. She still gives a 9 o'clock rundown of, I love my puppies, blah, blah, blah. She gets to the 10 o'clock and all of a sudden she hears a noise. And I remember saying, what kind of noise? That could be important. Third interview come out and it was like she answered me. She's like, it was a thud. And I was like, oh, crap. She's either lying just to make a proof of life story, false narrative, or Sebastian hit the floor, like hard, in my humble opinion. That's what I thought. But you're right. It keeps changing, Truth Press. Everything keeps changing with her story. Good question. As says, weren't his hot-footed parents in that house when they hit the road or not? Kim French. It's a sad local searchers on their own time and dime got their tires slashed while searching. Unreal. Why don't people want this kid found? So I thought about it. We all heard PP, Mr. PP. He really was adamant, like threatening Seth, the real father, if, about something coming out. If Seth tells if Seth knows whatever and he repeats it, it'll be the last time he opens his mouth, right? That was something like that. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what the hell? Did Sebastian know it already? And that's why he was shut down? Was that possible? Whatever he's threatening Seth about, that Seth may have learned, was Sebastian the first one to find out about it? Did Sebastian have some knowledge? Was Sebastian receiving some sort of ABUSE, as the grandmother Robin has alleged? I went and reviewed his photographs. I'm not going to sit here and break them down. Y'all want to call in? What time is it? Yeah, we can definitely call in. Let me get the phone rolled up for you. I'll put the number in chat. Then you guys can call in. Absolutely. I need a drink anyway. Let's see. The number is 715-965-8617. And then the mods can share that again. And you can be my guest, my lovelies. There you go. 715-965-8617. Let me turn that up. There we go. And I think I got everything set up. You think that comment had to do with faith? I don't know. Seth does look exhausted. I agree, Joe. Well, Carol Mary, you might be right. You could be right. You say, I feel like Sebastian Rogers was a victim of abuse in the house towards him. And you very well could be right. CP seemed to be over there quite a lot. Yep, call in at any time you guys want. 715-965-8617. Phone lines are open. Thank you, Az. I love your little bone, your red bone. uh, well, be real. That's why I say if Sebastian knew the code, why didn't he go through the front door? Why couldn't he get through it? Because he grabbed the mail, he ran up to the front door, could not get in. Well, if he knew the code, why didn't he just enter it and go in? Right? According to the mother, you're right. Sebastian knew the code, but apparently he didn't. Not the code that he couldn't get in. Thank you, Jennifer Swain, lovely. Yep, call in anytime you want, 715-965-8617. Love to hear from you. Looking forward to it. Robin York Groom, I'm going to leave that off. I love you, but I'm not going to. Well, I'll put it. It was said that he had a accident at Roadhouse, but he would be in a pull-up, so, because he came from Katie's. But we hear a lot of rumors. So, this whole thing where they have no evidence of foul play, yet they're not doing an investigation, a criminal investigation. That bothers me. We have our first caller. Let me see if we can get it going here. Hello, hello. How are you tonight? Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, hang on. I just shut down my other thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Take your time. We're here with
Yeah,
you.
it's Ruby. I called in the other night.
Hey, Ruby. Welcome back, lovely. How are you?
Thank you. So, I have a couple questions. I'm not sure if anyone can answer them.
Okay.
But is it true that Sebastian's mom back in the house?
Repeat
Back
that?
in,
Sorry. Hello?
yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, you melted away. Is it true what now?
Sebastian's mom is back in the house.
The last I heard.
And then I had another question. I'm not sure if anyone can answer this or not. Is it true that they are saying that nobody's allowed on their property for, like dogs helping with the scent?
As far as I know, that's true, but there's been so much confusion around dog handlers. I don't know what is really true.
Hmm. Yeah, well, confusion about dog handlers, I can understand because I know that there was some confusion about somebody pretending to be a dog handler,
Yeah,
right?
it confused me. And like I said, I was like, okay, there's something not right with this case. I've never been in a case where we're getting searchers stalked, tires slashed, and people faking to be like somebody they're not. And it's getting so weird.
Well, the thing, um, piggybacking on the dog handler, whether the dog handlers are like true or not, I believe I saw today that, and you're very specific about words that I can't say, so we will just say CP, actually said that no one, allowed on the property. That's odd to me. Did you hear
Yeah,
that?
if that's true, that is very, like, if they're, you know what concerns me, and that's with any case, okay? With any case where a child goes missing
Mm-hmm.
and and the parents that's alone with them or the immediate parents have access through relatives or anything like that or really close friends um, of lots of land and then say, nope, you can't search.
That struck me today, for sure. I saw that today. I was like, wait, hold up, right? I mean, who cares? I mean, oh my God, if my gerbil was missing, bring in the search dogs. Go find the. That was weird to me. That was weird to me. But it sounds to me like Katie is back home.
I
And I
think
had a
so. I
third. I
think
had
I
a
heard
third.
that from JLR.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I heard it, and I'm so sorry because I called in with like a fourth thing, but I can't remember right now. I'm so sorry. I have an old dog who's
Oh,
coughing.
don't worry about it. We're just so happy to hear from you, Ruby. And, you know, I just, I really, really want to stay positive, but at the same time, I started looking, Ruby, at a
Uh
lot
huh.
of the photographs of Sebastian.
Ugh.
And I tried to show it in the very beginning when they did the interview, when the mom and Chris did their very first interview.
Uh,
And she pointed out, oh, look, he has chocolate on his face. And I said, that's not chocolate. Look at him. And everybody got really mad at me and really mad at me. And I said, look at his forehead. He's got bruising. And I went
oh.
back and looked today, and he does. And that was before we knew about one report, CPS report.
Oh, you just triggered my memory.
There we
Yeah, because
go.
I was calling about more than a couple things. Yes, that stuff. The and I know you don't like trigger words, so I'm not even sure like what to call it, but
Spell
the
it.
people come into your place to check on your you know what kid. Um, that's weird. That is actually weird.
I'm
And
confused. What do you
why
mean?
why was she gone for so long? Because I can't imagine leaving. Like if my cat ran away, I don't have a cat anymore, but I have two dogs. But if my dog or cat ran away, I would never leave my place.
Yeah. I know what
Never.
you mean because you're terrified that the cat or the dog would be running back to the house and not have an owner. And it's even unimaginable to me if it was your own child.
Yeah. Well, dogs and cats have a good sense of smell, so they'd be able to like find their place, find their
Still,
place back.
I
But
agree with you.
yeah, but I couldn't even imagine leaving. Well, anyway, I'm taking up a lot of time. I was just
Yeah.
venting.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. I'm gonna hang up here and go watch your show back on my other
Well, I
phone.
love that you called in and supported our channel, Ruby, and I hope that you will call us back, lovely.
Hey, one more thing. One more
Yeah,
thing.
go for it.
I found the call that I was asking for. Huh. The phone call where you know who I can't say the words called in, and I listened to it today. Maybe
Okay.
that's what got me triggered.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Is it,
on
was it
on
when PP went crazy with the F bombs?
it was nuts. It was nuts, and
Yeah.
I swear. Well, I'm not gonna say a bad word,
Nope.
but I couldn't even imagine, like living in my place with anybody, speaking to me in that tone or those words.
You know what YouTube
So
did? YouTube slapped me for that. They were
really,
literally, they were like, they're, doesn't fit our community guidelines. I had to not private, I had to put members only
uh-huh.
and such to keep it. Otherwise, I was going to get a harder snack. I was
Well,
like,
you know what?
okay, all right. I agree, YouTube. That is the foulest you can get.
I'm not a member, but I'm about to be one. But
Oh, well, thank you, Ruby.
I did find it on another channel, and actually, it's making me sweat right now. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine like anyone being near me speaking like that. So good for you, YouTube. Not like for free speech or anything like that, but no one should ever speak to anybody like that, especially a challenged, mentally challenged
Well,
kid.
the channel, I'm just going to say it this way, you guys. The channel Without a Clue, and y'all know who I'm talking about, they say that it was just don't say that channel's name over here, please.
Sorry.
Okay. I figure they are trolls, but Without a Clue basically is what I say.
Ugh.
And they said that that's just being authentic and Tennessean.
Can I ask you a question though before I go?
I was just shocked. I never heard such. Yes.
Do you think maybe, and I'm not sure if I'm wrong or right, but do you think maybe they're doing that just to get the guy to speak?
Well, you have a good point, and I'm gonna tell you, I remember another channel called Voices Behind the Voices with No Balls. You know what I'm saying. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
they played that game too, and now she has to film her YouTube while she's at work. You follow me? It doesn't work. It's not going to work. So if there's some sort of like, oh, I'm going to do this, you can't play trickery. You can't.
Okay.
You can't. Because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. Nobody's going to trust you ever again on both sides.
Yeah, I just kind of when I heard that last night or today before, I was just thinking like maybe there's like kind of like I don't want to say the words, but people kind of do that to get people to speak. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
anyway,
I get it. But at the same time, you cannot trash everybody on the internet and then stand by the one, or I'm sorry, the two that were last with the missing child that are not showing any action to find their child.
hey, did you hear why she's back back at home?
No.
Okay.
Did you?
Anyway, no, I didn't. I just jumped on here, and I don't mean to like chew your ear off or anything. I'm
No, you're
very
fine.
curious about the case, but I have to hang out to listen. I have to hang up to listen, so I'm
Okay.
gonna hang up, and
All
I'm
right.
gonna I think you're great, and I love that you're on this case. So
Oh,
anyway, love you.
thank you. Thank you, Ruby, so much.
All right, later.
Later, hun. Bye.
Bye.
What a sweetheart. I just enjoyed that so much. Yeah. So, YouTube, let me fix the mic. Hold on, y'all. So, YouTube let the video out there for a day or two, I think it was. And then I woke up and I had a note from YouTube basically saying this absolutely does not fit our guidelines. And I was like, I get it, no problem. So I put it under members so that I wouldn't get a strike. Well, I wouldn't have got a strike anyway. But it's just not good to leave it in, that status. I agree, Cat H. You guys make sure and give me a call if you're interested in giving everybody your opinion. 715-965-8617. We are talking about Sebastian Rogers, this delightful young man. Very outgoing. Look at them thumbs up. I just want to give him a hug. I just want to tell him everything's okay. But then we get here, right? Really bothers me. But yeah, give me a call, 715-965-8617, my lovelies. Always knew she was manipulative, says Cat Age. Ooh, Lisa Lynn says, if he talks like that, he talks like that to his family and anyone else like that. Probably. Dawn says, my granddaughter is nonverbal. Sonori. So this case is close to my heart. Aw, hun. I feel you. Jennifer Swain says, bring in the state police. These are Keystone cops. Or corrupt, in her opinion. Right? I'm with you, Jennifer. I'm absolutely on the same page. Right, Sassy. If Banfield or Nancy Grace were showing that footage of a pee hot butt going off with the F bombs, it would be allowed, right? Probably. I don't know. Shannon Beck says, no way. I'm a Tennessean, and most of us do not speak that way or don't speak that way. I agree. I lived in Tennessee for quite a while, and I found that people did not talk that way at all. They were very educated, very kind, like a very generous, outgoing. People helped me a lot. Like, I moved into an apartment building that I didn't know anybody that lived there, and my helpers weren't there to get the couch in. And it was like all these people dropped what they were doing when they were out, like playing frisbee and having a picnic, just to help me move a couch 4 floors up. It was a whole, that Friends moment where Joey and Ross and I can't remember who was all there, but they're doing the pivot with the couch in the corner of the hallway. One of those. Dana Lynn says they are not Tennesseans. Oh, Lord. That Southern hospitality, right? Says Az. That is true. If we were to be listening to that on the national news and that recording, I'm going to give you an impression because y'all are right. It would be nothing but beep, says Lisa Lynn. Lisa Lynn. And this is what it would have sounded like. I'm going to tell you what. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Ever open your mouth coming out of my beep, 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 beep. Tell you what is what. Beep, beep. Yeah. It'd sound like Morse code coming through, wouldn't it? Oh, Jennifer Swain, I love you. You are so kind to me. Thank you for that snooper chat. $50 snooper chat, my lovelies. Can you believe that? Thank you, hon. Thank you, Mama D, for your fire passion for the victims. I definitely do. Y'all know I'm real. If you've been with me from the beginning, I'm going to tell you why I'm in true crime. Okay? I have many reasons. This is another one. And this is why I get drawn into these missing kids cases. So, my mother, my real biological mother, had sole custody of me after the age of 2. And she was a no good mama. I was a shadow. She didn't even talk to me. She didn't acknowledge me. It was like she was too high as a kite to really acknowledge there was another human being there. Now, she didn't hurt me or nothing. She just didn't see me. Literally, I was invisible to her. She didn't bathe me. She didn't brush my hair. Nothing. I promise you. Anyway, I woke up at 4 years old in a motel room that we had been in 2 weeks. We'd been there. And, it was just a white room there with a bed and white sheets. And there was nothing else. No mom, no toys, no clothes. Nothing but 2 green dollar bills on the nightstand. She left me at 4, y'all. At 4. I kid you not. Now, I made it the first night because I could go to the place where she had cocktail waitress that was part attached to this place. And she had been a cocktail waitress and bartended at this motel that she had left me at. And some of those co-workers, they knew me. They knew me as her daughter. But I didn't go tell nobody I was lost or nothing. I thought I can do it on my own. Well, after I ran out of $2, by the second day, I was out of money. I couldn't buy no food because hamburgers were 50 cents. I finally had to break down in tears and tell them I had no mama and no daddy. And I didn't know how I was going to get to eat because I was hungry. And then I would call it CPS or whatever you want to call it. And believe it or not, guess where I was? I was in Tennessee. Anyway, that just dawned on me. Anyway, so they used the registry of where my mom had registered the motel, and then they got a hold of my grandmother who lived in, now I'm all the way down in Tennessee. They get a hold of my grandma who's in Oregon, and she takes a Greyhound bus. And she said it took 3 or 4 days to get to us, and she picked me up. And she said I had never had shoes on my feet, and she didn't think my hair had ever been brushed, and she didn't know if I had been bathed in God knows how long. She had to teach me how to use silverware. I could talk. I don't know. I was a happy kid. I remember being happy. So when I say I'm a little Summer Wells kid, I was a missing kid for 2 days. But she didn't care, and she didn't tell nobody. I give you my honest, as God is my witness, and you know I don't lie. So, there you go. Well, I don't feel there's a reason to be sorry. Look where I am. What am I doing? I never got hurt. Nobody mistreated me. I got the best grandma in the world. It was a little mini vacation, and believe me, I have no memories before that hotel. That's my first memories. And it just got better from there. I had the best grandma in the world. And she gave me structure. She treated me like a human being. She talked to me. She taught me about God and everything. And so it isn't awful. It inspired me to have empathy and connect emotionally to these missing kids. And that's why my heart is real. Because I had a really crappy mom. And it builds us who we are. It makes us strong. And in doing that, I feel for Sebastian because I feel a disconnect between Katie and Sebastian. Though I do feel a sense that he would have been extremely protective of Katie and Seth. And here's why. I was told, I don't remember this, but I was told that I was extremely protective of my mother till I was about 12. Like, I would go to bat for her no matter what. And my dad, my real dad, got in the picture of my life when I turned 9. And I remember one time he said something negative about my mother, just like your mother or something. And that crushed me because my mother, even if she had abandoned me, in my mind at that time, she was my world. Like, I didn't want nobody to say anything bad about her. Yet she had literally abandoned me. Now, I spent Mother's Day, or today I should say, as a celebration of Mother's Day, with that same woman that abandoned me. Because she did so many drugs that she had a nervous breakdown and they had to do electroshock therapy. And she became a completely different person. And she became more like a child. She's better now in the sense that she's very religious. She can take care of herself as long as she has a helper. Nurses come in and so forth. And she's not the same person that did that to me. She has no knowledge of it, trust me. Like Alzheimer's, no knowledge. And I cannot punish somebody that now is trying to be a mother, even though I'm in my 50s. She'll literally talk to me on the phone and ask me, what did you eat for dinner? Did you have enough food? Do you need me to buy you food? And I'll be like, Mom, I had plenty of food. My kids ate, remember, I'm an adult. But at the same time, it creates who we are. Now, my problem is when the child does not make it. That's when I get enraged. Enraged. Like I'd say a silent rage in my heart that burns hot, like blue fire with anger. That this child was not more noticed. Because I promise you, if you are watching over your kids and you haven't had a fight or anything, that this child's a runner, it's just a normal life. This kid never has run away in their life. There's no negativeness between the two of you. This kid is not going to run. Not this kid. Now, other kids, maybe. Maybe they have a boyfriend they want to sneak out to. You told them they couldn't see him. A girlfriend. Whatever that kid did, there's runners. But this particular kid, Sebastian, is not equipped. He doesn't have friends to run to. He doesn't have a phone that he's using to connect to anybody. He's not equipped with clothing, food, water, nothing. I can't imagine that he would have just bolted. Yes, you are right, as it is a rage that forces me to do things like this, like have my channel, to make parents pay closer attention to their kids. I was always considered, and I still am, an overprotective parent. And I just look at people like, are you crazy? What do you mean overprotective? How do you be overprotective as a parent? My children can swim. They go places. They do things. But I stay in touch with them. I know where my kids are. You see what I'm saying? I didn't allow them to go to somebody's house unless I knew the parents were really good. There's no, oh, there's a new kid in town. Yeah, he just started school last week and I can't remember his name, but I'm going to crash over there and I'll be home sometime tomorrow. That don't happen in my house. Ever. I can't. Because I grew up hard and I grew up fast. Even though I had a loving grandmother, my real mom popped back into the picture and out again. Take me for a year or two and give me back until I got 13 and I ran away. Ran to my dad. Wild's man mom says, Mama D, do you think too much pressure on Katie will make her self-harm? She was looking for a family to love her. That whole family groomed her for CP. Whew. To have his wife he can control and lie to. That's a good question, Wild man's mom. She's still my main suspect. But I hope she's getting the mental help that she needs. I hope she has enough sense to stay off the internet and look for her kid. You know, if you're busy looking for your kid, you don't have time for rumors. You don't care what people think. I'm going to tell y'all another little story, okay? So, when I got my divorce, my ex was having an affair behind my back, and I did not know it. And he was having an affair with a school teacher in town. We are in a very tiny town. Very tiny. 30 kids to a room. Graduating classes of maybe 50 at the most. All right? Very tiny town. So, he wanted a divorce. I wanted a divorce. It was mutual. We're splitting. No problems between us other than I could not deal with his shit anymore. All right. Now, behind my back, he goes and spreads rumors about me, right? All over the place. I could care less what he told anybody in this town. You know why? Because if they know me, they know I would never do that. And if they don't know me, let them talk. At least I know who my real friends are. Just saying. I still lived in the same town. I had to go into the grocery store. People look at me and think about these rumors that were completely unfounded. Completely unfounded. Like, I don't even know. I was like, you know that meme where you say, oh, that's a rumor about me? Holy crap, where'd that come from? One of those deals. I mean, it was all proven later because it all bit him in the ass. And he looked like a dumbass. But it wasn't because of me. It was because everybody turned on him. Now he ain't got nobody in this town that likes him because they all know. They all know. Cat H says, sounds like many of us grew up like that. I was a pediatric nurse 35 years. Well, thank you for your service, lovely, as a pediatric nurse. Peds is a difficult job, I'm going to tell you. You have to give babies shots, y'all. That's why I could never work in the pediatric department because I know they have to have medicine and things or they're sick or any of that. But I would just want to cuddle them, you know, and just be like, it's going to be okay. I wouldn't be able to check them. I'd be too worried. As says OMG, once again, same story. Same, not giving a hoot. That's how I have to be. It made me enough thick skin that I can do YouTube. So it helped me out, y'all. Interior Family Studio says, I am an abuse survivor, thriver, and I am an advocate up for these children who have lost their voice and their way. Bless your heart. We love you, Mr. Ifs. We love you. Same, says Blessed Texan in Montana. You know, a lot of people are like me. They have had some hellacious childhood happenings. And I feel like those are the ones that grow up choosing to be an advocate, right? You have that choice. You have that option to use that as, oh, I get what's going on here. And I'm going to tell you right now, I believe 1,000% with every fiber in my being that Sebastian was treated like a burden by the Pissy Pete's. I believe they all treated him like a burden. I just really do. And that's heartbreaking. Yeah, I got tossed around to family because nobody wanted me to. Yeah, you can have whatever when we're done eating. If there's anything left, welcome to it. Oh, thanks for the whole tablespoon of hamburger helper, right? Weighing 65 pounds and being 12, 13 years old. Why don't you eat, little girl? Well, I don't know because I live with my Aunt Janice and she's a witch, right? And then you get to be about 45 and out of the blue, that same aunt decides to try to friend you on Facebook and now you're an adult and you want to literally message her and tell her to F off, but you don't because you're like, you're not even worth my spit on the sidewalk. That's how you feel. Um, so the way I listened to him talk, whoever that was in the video, where Sebastian says, she's got to do this before that. And they're like, no, she doesn't. All hateful. That's what that is. This hateful attitude towards Sebastian in that video. And I don't know about you guys, but when I pull my video out with my kids and we're going to record it, I I'm not always me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, say hi for grandma. If I didn't have my camera recording it, if I was just taking a camera picture, just a photograph, I'd be like, hey guys, we're going to take a picture of grandma. Yeah, yeah. Quentin, turn to the side. Noah, yeah, you know. But if you're going to record, I'm like, say hi to grandma. There you go, guys. Right? You upbeat for the video. Are they upbeating at all? Maybe not. Maybe that's just how they always are. But if that's upbeat, that's scary as heck. Dana Lynn wants to know, someone tell me, who kept Sebastian when KP joined the military? And that would be Seth. Seth became a stay-at-home dad because Sebastian had too many complications. Now, he said he had a nice neighbor lady that was able to watch Sebastian for a short time, but then when she couldn't do it anymore, Seth did come home. As says, your beauty shines even in your voice. Being the scapegoat or the black sheep in your original family is sometimes a great thing. Well, it causes us to set an example, right? That it don't matter where you came from. Don't forget about it. Learn from it and maintain that memory so you know how to break that vicious cycle and be a better person than they were to you. So, like today, I literally burst out in tears. Like, I wouldn't say burst, but tears just flooded me. So we were driving home after I was with my mom. Now that Quentin is in his 20s, he's going to be, he's 21. He's a full adult. He began to ask me questions about a year ago when he turned 20 about my childhood, which he didn't know nothing. He just knew it was rough. And I've explained to him, now Noah's not ready for any of that. But Quentin, when he would ask me, I would tell him just like I do. You guys, I would share a little bit. And he still loves Grandma because he knows her as a different, he knows she's mentally ill. All right? I mean, that's what drugs do over long term. And she also had electric shock therapy. So she's a completely different person. And he loves her. And I do too. Anyway, we're on the way home. And he said, I know it's hard for you to be around her sometimes, out of the blue. And I said, sometimes, but, it's all about the now, Quentin. And the person that's there is somebody that I do care about. And he said, I'm glad, Mom, that you learned from her and knew how to be a good mom to me. And I said, I am too, Quentin. Me too, baby. Because we have to break the cycles, That's what happened to me by teenage babysitters when my parents went into recovery programs. Oh, Mr. Ifs, honey, we love you. We're here for you. We'll always be your family. I send you a lot of my healing energy. Jennifer Swain says, yes, he was treated like a burden, in my opinion, too. But in reality, God has a unique purpose for each of us that no one else can fulfill but you. Right? Jennifer, you're beautiful. Oz said, yep, just like a good mother would do for her kids. Right? Bless, Texan in Montana. Hello. You say when you grow up thinking everybody's parents treat them like that, and then when you were old enough and realized, nope, it's not normal. Exactly. And abused young ones, right? They're not going to tell people because for some reason they feel like it's their fault, and that way they're somehow guilty. And they also don't want to put how bad they feel in somebody else's heart. So I didn't want my friends to know bad things that happened to me because I didn't want them to feel the badness I felt in my heart, that unloved feeling, because it didn't feel good to me. I didn't want them to feel bad. So I kept it shut up. Like, I had this one friend one time because we lived in an area for a short time and we rode 10 speeds, and I met her. I was my first day at school. She was really cute. She was really friendly, and she was nice to me, and I loved that. And so I rode a 10 speed, and we went to her house first. And she didn't want me to come in. It was a really, really rundown place with stuff all over the yard. Like, it looked like a hoarding place. Like, you couldn't even get in that front door. And she didn't want me to come in, of course. And so I said, no problem. I'll see you tomorrow. And every night I'd ride home, we'd go past her house first, and she'd always say, see you tomorrow. And one time I was so curious, so I asked another girl at school, why doesn't Jillian want me over at her house ever? Because I can't have her over where I am because I'm not even welcome there. I'm just at relatives. But I would like to hang out somewhere with her. She's like, you'll have to take her to the park because her mom and daddy have never cleaned their house once in their life. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I love Jillian even more because she still had such a beautiful light in her heart as to brighten my day. So I am by far not the only one that has gone through this. I think it would be shocking to find out how many of us have childhood trauma that we just don't share with people. Whilst my mom says, Mama D, you're loved by so many, and the light blinds folks sometimes, but your past help you give that person that will open their eyes again. Just my opinion. Thank you, lovely. Tiffany Crockett, good to see you. You said, Mama D, when you get a chance, please look at the fake dog handler's mouth and nose, and Chris proud put nose and mouth, and tell me if you think they are siblings. I've been waiting to ask you all day. I got to make a note, lovely. Okay, Tiffany. So, fake, I'm going on my whiteboard, fake dog handler, okay, and Chris proud put. You want me to do the overlay? See if they're related. All right. I've got it for you, Tip. I got you. I got you back. I just love you guys because we can get real, But when it comes to the heart of Sebastian, I have to ask you a real big question. Did he get in somebody else's car after Katie's? What's your thoughts? Hey, Bubble Beth, you said that is so awesome that your child said that to you. That proves you did better than how you had it. I did the same thing, and I never looked at it that way. I just tried always to do my best. That's why I said, Bubble Beth, we have to just really, I don't know. It was kind of like there was, I think when you wake up early, like you have to be an adult way early. Like I said, 4 years old, I'm like, okay, I got $2 hamburgers are 50 cents. I can eat 2 a day. And then on the third day, I'm going to have to find help, you know. when you grow up like that, I think you grow up thinking to yourself, well, I'm never going to have to rely on nobody, I'll tell you that much. By the time I was 6 years old, my grandma talked to me like I was an adult. I kid you not. Because she would tell me that I had a comprehension of philosophy. And I was like, what's philosophy? You know? And my Uncle David taught me how to play chess when I was 6. Um, it was like all of a sudden I was seen. I was like noticed that I was a human being and I was in the room. I give my dogs love more than, most children of neglectful parents get. I'm just telling you, there are children like Summer that I believe are absolutely invisible. Almost true crime. Hello, lovely. You grew up in Northwest North Carolina near Elizabeth City. Hello, love. How are you? And welcome, welcome. Bless Texan in Montana. I wonder that too. Did she lock him out to teach him a lesson and someone picked him up? A lot of people ask that. And we don't know, right? Hey, Robin Davis Ducksworth. You say, I think he is smarter than we think. And he had enough of his pitiful situation and perhaps made plans and left. Well, I hope he had plans that took him to safety. I really, really promise you that he would have to know somebody. He could not be living on his own, in my opinion. BBL Babe says, you got to break the chains. I had a horrible childhood, but raised my 5 beautiful children with so much love and support. They are awesome human beings and beautiful parents. Isn't that great? I celebrate with you, Phoebe. I celebrate you as a beautiful soul that has improved the planet already, right? In so many beautiful ways. Hey, Wes, long time no see. You said he went somewhere with someone. He has to still be on this earth, probably in the U.S., most likely Tennessee or Mississippi. Well, I hate to say this, but the places we're not allowed to look is where I think he is. Just my humble opinion. Tiffany Crockett says, I don't think they want us to find Sebastian's body because his body will reveal his story, and now Seth has mild react. Okay, wait. Now Seth has the mild redacted portion, unfortunately. Right. But he did say he now knows what went on in the house. What went on with the house? Shannon Apex says, wouldn't that be something, CP Sister Bake Handler? I'll check it tonight, you guys, and I'll let you know if it is. If it matches. Or maybe I'll just show you and you can tell me what you think. Diane Kelly says, I honestly do not think he made it home after eating that day. You and me and Jennifer Swain and a whole bunch of others, that's where we are. Wish says, I can't read no more. I still entertain the idea that they may have committed him somewhere. I'll be honest, I thought about it. Here's the deal, you guys. This is just my humble opinion. I'm not here to crash your hope, but I got to thinking at this point, if Sebastian was hidden away by someone, okay, that someone would be risking everything for Sebastian. Now, Seth appears to be the only one that genuinely has shown a great deal of love, other than Katie appears to have shown love too. I mean, the kid did have new clothes, shoes, okay, a house, all right. I don't know what went on in the house. I'm just throwing it out there. The parents are the ones that love the kid. Who would love the kid enough put themselves in not only a predicament to care for him, but also would be willing to give their life up once they're found out, because they're in a lot of trouble for kidnapping. Even if they had permission to have him at this point, they'd be more than trouble, more than. So that worries me. Wish says these are scary people. I still don't know if they are worse or better than Summerwell's parents. Well, if you were wondering, Candace, right? Summerwell's mom, she feels bad for the parents. I feel bad for Seth. Diana Kelly says, I think it is search and rescue now. That's what I'm saying. Jenny K. with a neighbor's camera caught some sort of a video footage of them getting home or seeing Sebastian get out of the car. Well, they do have a garage, you guys. You realize, okay, say I'm Katie and I've got Seth with me, or Sebastian with me, and we're just coming back from Texas Roadhouse. I drive into my car garage. I use my little clicker. I shut the garage door, and me and Sebastian get out of the car. He has not stepped foot outside the house. He's going directly in the house, and there is nobody to see him. There is no camera, nothing, because it's dark. And it was one night that the lights were off on the house, except for the solar panel lights out in Katie's garden. So there would be no light shining on them from the garage or nothing. It is a blackout at their house when she arrives. Now here's my thing. That's one of the reasons I think it's a blackout. Because if the lights were on in front of the garage, which they are not, because that is what Nancy asked her, and Katie is the one home, and she answers, no ma'am. The only lights were my little garden solar lights. Because Nancy said, were there any lights on in the house? Or outside the house? Any? And she said, no ma'am. Now, Katie's the one home. If the lights had been on, you would be able to see if there were two people in that vehicle when they went under the floodlights into the garage. But with the lights off, it's just a car pulling in the garage. You don't even get to see who the driver is. For all you know, holy crap. Holy shnikes, Batman. What if, oh, you know how you have that kind of weird moment? What if, here's a big throw spaghetti at the wall. It's all happening in my head right now. What if after dinner, Katie and Sebastian switched cars? And since the lights were off, Katie never went home either that night. What if that was the person that drove the other car? And that person took Katie's car home, drove it into the driveway, shut the garage door, and nobody's the wiser. The lights are off. And now Katie is with Sebastian alone until an Uber drops her off later. Where'd that Uber stop? Was it anywhere near the construction site? Was Katie the one throwing Sebastian's shoes through the dirt there? And then did she use those shoes to run silently with a flashlight at 3 a.m. back to the house to get back in the house? And as that was Katie's mother-in-law? And that's why she's already there in the morning? Boom! Whoa. Oh, cheese whiz. Oh, cheese whiz. That's what Blessed Tex in Montana said. Okay, I got to write this down, and I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I will make this theory out. I've got to walk it more clearly, but it's a switch of a vehicle where Katie and Sebastian don't go home at all that day on the 25th. Actually, it would be, in this theory, it would be Mama Bauer, right? Mama Bauer would actually take Katie's car home and pull in the garage, shut the door, and she's in the house flicking lights off and on and all that crap. Therefore, Katie is alone with Sebastian until what? 6 a.m.? Anywhere. Or if that was an Uber and that was really about 3 a.m., could that be Katie getting out of the Uber? Or a private driver or a friend dropping her off near her property? Could it be a Bowersox? An uncle, a brother, a cousin, a grandma, who knows? An aunt, a sister. We're going to walk that theory out tomorrow. I'll do a presentation tomorrow. 4 o'clock p.m. Get ready for that theory. I'm telling you, that fits too nicely with what we know. Of course, what we know doesn't prove anything, right? But I'm starting to get an idea. You guys always make my brain go. Who has a red Jeep? Asked Tiffany Crockett. Where'd the red Jeep came from, bub? Or, I had to plug the phone in. Where did the red Jeep come from, Tiffany? Hun, where'd you hear about that? April says maybe somebody has him who is maybe elderly or someone who has nothing to lose and don't care but want him to be safe and knows he wasn't safe in the home. Oh, I pray you are right. Oh, I pray you are right. Diana Baum, they went home apparently 11:30 at night of the 25th. Things happened. That's interesting, isn't it? So they go to dinner, and then they switch vehicles and the phone. Oh my golly! Was it Mama Bowersox on the phone with Chris, sitting at Katie and Chris's place, right? So that Katie has an alibi? Was it Mama Chris? Was she there all night? Did she shower there? And that way, when the cops came, she is already there. Because I couldn't figure this out. I'm like, she would only have like 9 minutes. There's no way. But if she didn't go home, all the lights were out. Who knows who the driver was? Just like in the Idaho 4 case, who was the driver? We don't know. It was pitch black. So I challenge Katie, prove that you went home that night. Prove you went home. And don't use your phone. I don't buy it. The phone is not a good alibi. Anybody could use your phone if you gave it to them. Ah, Daddy Bowersox has red Jeep. Interesting. Carol Mary says, I feel like that lady was involved because she was there in the morning. Why was she there in the morning? Well, we started the call off asking. Wow. It's shocking, isn't it? Well, man's mom says in the dark with lights and cameras off. Boom, boom, boom. We need to go. Holy crap, I got to do that. Lights up. I'm going to put this into a true theory. Maybe I'll pre-record that part. We'll come on a live and then I'll play the video I make. So lights out, cameras off, right? Mama Bowersox switching places. That's why she's there in the morning in this theory. That gives Katie all damn night to go anywhere she damn want. Hell, how far would it be to drive to South Carolina? Could you make it back by 6 a.m.? Did she go to Memphis? You got 12 hours. 12 damn hours between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. You got 12 hours. You can go up to 6 hours one way and 6 hours the other. That kind of puts things in a better lighting, doesn't it? I agree with Seth. We need to be searching further. And is that why? Did she get let off by a family member, right, at that construction site? And did she keep Sebastian's shoes so that on her run back to the house, the dogs would follow that scent? I'm just asking. Mustang Sherry, also with Chris gone, why would she have the outside lights off? It's safer to leave them on since she's alone there. Jenny K, I just hope something happens at this point. It's an innocent child and it's nothing but drama with the family. This is about Sebastian. Agreed. Mary D. Candace actually said on camera that she felt bad for the Proudfoots. Katie, put yourself out there for your son. How dare you put yourself first again? Sebastian is missing. Speak and search, woman, says Mary D. Ann Starter says, makes sense why they did call on a three-way from his phone then. Three-way. A three-way would make it so that you didn't get tracked, so there'd be no track. If you're coming home saying that you're looking for somebody, that could be two. There's so much to this. There's so much to this. Diana Bond says, I thought a bunch of scenarios, but what if LE is working the case, watching them? Well, Katie made a comment, and I'll have to paraphrase, but she herself posted something not too long ago. I don't know where I saw it. One of the other beautiful creators out there, where Katie said, don't worry, LE has their eyes on her at all times. She can't get away with nothing, basically. I'm totally paraphrasing. She did not say I can't get away with nothing. She just said that she's aware they're watching. And I'm going to tell you, they didn't search the landfill first right off the bat for nothing. How do I prove this? I can't. All I can do is put it out there and hope to God and pray that over time it gets out there enough, if the theory holds water, right? The LA would look into it. Because unfortunately, Katie's car would show exactly the same mileage to go home. Katie's phone would show she was sitting at the house the whole time. But she wouldn't be. Not in this theory. She'd be in Bowersock's car. Kitty and Chris could have met after dinner. His mom goes to Chris's house. Taken to? With Sebastian, Katie goes home. Chris calls Katie's phone, Mom, and drives to RV. Interesting. In Elijah's view, which is a different case, you guys, of a missing little tiny 2-year-old. Is he 2 or 3, you guys? Is he 3? Elijah View has been missing 6 days before Sebastian, and Ellie is a good example of how things are done. They have not given up on searching for him. The same should be done for Sebastian. I pray for both. Thank you, Jenny K. Thank you, lovely. Keep praying, you guys. Prayers do help. I believe that. So Shannon Effect says they have some video on coming and goings. Right, but we haven't seen them and neither has Seth. Oh, this is an amazing question. Wild Man's mom is going to get the gold star, the biggest one of the night, you guys. Get ready for this bombshell. Working with our theory that we're working on now, where there would be a switch up with the Bauer Sox's car and Katie, right? And so Mama Bauer would be showing up at Katie's home and playing the role of Katie and using Katie's phone for a misdirection, right? While Katie's free to do what she wants. And this is what Wild Man's mom just asked. It was Sunday, right? Could CP have been at his mom's house all day? This is blowing my mind. I can't wait to work on this theory. I mean, I think a lot more things are going to fall in place. Well, and you could be right, Boogie Green Street. Would she have had to slip him some rugs at that point or at some point? Could that have been the last meal, y'all? And the drive? Just letting him fall asleep? Her holding his hand? Hmm? Hey, Mustang Shear, you say, I wonder if Grandma wasn't the one on the three-way with Katie's phone. That I wonder if Grandma wasn't the one on the three-way call with Katie's phone. That would explain it being muted and why Chris had to relay the message. Boom! Wow. You guys never cease to amaze me. Well, Boogie Green Street, I absolutely agree with you. That is unbelievably calculated and sick if this family was in on it. Well, and I would have never guessed that that would even be possible, but after listening to Nina, I don't doubt it. That's how I feel. Robin Davis Ducksworth, that would be Chris Proudfoot's parents. Okay, yes, he's three. Yep, he's in Wisconsin, is the Elijah Boo case. Dana Lynn says, I do not think they are going unwatched. Did CP have a burner phone? And could he have used a friend's vehicle to make a trip into Nashville? Why would he need friends, right? He's got family. Ah. Or with hello, you said CP didn't call. Or wait, CP didn't get to KPS until 1 in the afternoon. That's what I heard too. Annan Starter says, yeah, and I would think Chris called Sheriff Department, not 911, because 911 would have triangulated his signal. If he called non-emergency line, like he said, it wouldn't track the location like 911. Excellent point. Boogie Green Street says, again, rugs, because that's what I think happened to Summer. Akira says CP and KP aren't going to tell us they did something nefarious to Sebastian, but they tell us all the reasons they would, in my opinion. That's a really good point. Wow. That's an excellent point. Crispy Critter says, there must not have been any news regarding the mayor. I'm sure, I'm not sure I know what you mean, love. About which mayor? Hi, Carol A. You say, would make sense why certain people were warning off searchers off. Hmm. Alicia Australia says, I do think CP was there at some stage Sunday, in my opinion. Yes, mom and dad just live in Galveston or whatever it's called. Sassy says, right at Interior Family Studios, those volunteer searching, that would be interviewed saying stupid BS about it because of all the lies from the narrative of this case. Susan Bennett says Sebastian was placed in a red vehicle by Paul and John, supposedly. Allegedly. Right. Hmm. Who are Paul and John? And don't say John Paul, because then we're in the Micah case. And oh, all hell is breaking loose over there. Dana Lynn says, like I said, CP is such a control freak. You know he had a camera in that home, in my opinion. Right? Okay, I missed something. Hold on. Let's go up and find Annan. Because his story, okay, Annan Starter says, because his story was he was at work, but really he was right there in town, in my opinion. Hey, Glenda Henshaw, how are you, love? As says, I'm not allowed to talk about that case. We do want to keep it on Sebastian right now, lovelies, even though we're going to bring up Summer Wells. We're going to talk about Elijah a little bit here and there in reference of comparison or whatever you need. But I don't want us to take away from Sebastian. Hey, Sherry Cross, woohoo. Well, just came by the chance. I found you guys. My notification didn't go off tonight for some reason. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Alicia Australia, I don't think CP used his vehicle. I think he used a friend's vehicle, in my opinion. Y'all, I love you, but I just have a hard time believing that CP has friends unless he bought them. That's just my opinion. Now, you're going to hear this because it's like an oven in here. And if I don't put a fan on myself, I'm going to have somebody come over here and do a CPR on me because it's like literally feels like it could be 90 degrees. I hope you can still hear good. It's a very quiet fan, but I have a good mic too. And a starter says, I used to be a 911 dispatcher. It's what I thought as soon as I heard his bullshit story. Right. Wow. Well, I thank you for doing that service to the community and being a 911 dispatcher. Thank you. Janine says Chris should be mad at the affair, allegedly, of the neighbor, not people looking for the missing autistic boy. I don't know. There is allegedly nonsense about affairs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know none of that, and it ain't going to help find Sebastian, so I don't worry about it. Hey, Shrimp. Yes, I want to know who Mark and John is. Me too. I'm waiting. And his starter says, with all the over-explaining he was doing about the calling the sheriff instead of 911 and blah, blah, blah. Right? Oh, you guys, I just love how, like, our group really puts it all together. Like, you keep it connected so well. You pay good, close attention, right? And you're so smart. Truly. Mary Moore says, when I heard the PI say that Chris's truck was at Yogi Bear on Sunday the 25th, continued. Yeah, or the 26th, actually. It was the 26th, the day that Sebastian was reported missing. It has been stated by the PI that, and also I heard another creator, I think it was Bullhorn Betty, confirm that they knew that Chris had basically stated that he had to leave. He had to get back to his RV. There was a big to-do about having to get it out of there. And he was gone for almost a whole afternoon. So if he only got there at 1 p.m. and then Chris left right away, what was he really tending to? I'm just asking. Brave Ballin, 20 months. Wow. Thank you, lovely. You're almost hitting the 2-year mark. Brave Ballin, you are absolutely amazing. She says, I love you all. And justice for Sebastian. Aw, thank you, lovely. You are so sweet. Thank you for the support. April says, they say Chris wasn't home since the beginning of February, but doesn't mean he wasn't close by. That's so true. Why would you sit in Memphis? Why wouldn't you go to Gallatin, where your mom and dad and family have a really nice, amazing home, where you probably have still a room, right? Adidas Press says the biggest red flag for me is that Katie called her husband instead of calling 911 immediately to report her child missing, and neither of the Proudfoots called 911 to report Sebastian missing. That's a huge red flag, I agree. Akira, CP is mad for everyone speculating. If he doesn't know what happened, he too should be speculating. It is weird not to have curiosity. Right? Don't you think that's weird? Not to suspect the other parent? All right, listen to me. I don't care how good the other parent is, right? Your kid goes missing, and you can't find him, and you truthfully know you didn't have anything to do with that child missing, and you know that you and your ex are like, you know, why have Chris and Katie never suspected Seth? Not that he should be. I'm not. Nope, don't go there, y'all. I'm just saying, why have they not spoken out at all of any suspicion towards Seth. Because to me, as a mother, I'd be like, did you take my son? you know. Boogie Green Street says, I'm always trying to think, where would they put him? The route they took. I agree concerning cameras in the house. They were probably cameras in the cars and GPS trackers. I can see everywhere husband is. What about 360 too, which is an app on most of people's phones nowadays? Shannon Beck says, I called Senator Marsha Blackburn's office today, and they are aware of Sebastian's case. Please call and ask them to put pressure on LE. Obviously, they can't do anything, but they can make calls. Well, and we're going to leave it here tonight. We've been on here almost 2 hours, you guys. I want to just bring this up. I want Sumner County to put Sebastian in the light. I want another presser with his face this time. Show us a giant picture of Sebastian, and even if you come on and just give us an update that there's nothing at this time, it would be fantastic if you showed Sebastian's picture and told the ones that might not have ever heard his name that there is a missing child that has an Amber Alert. How's that? How about Sumner County use the PR to get on there and get on camera and talk about Sebastian to the public for those that aren't aware? How about that? How about not putting him on the back burner? How about forwarding all the CP reports next time immediately to TBI? So if you were holding back CPI report or CPS reports, Sumner County, what else are you holding back from TBI? And why would you? Why would TBI not be given complete access to all evidence in a missing child's case? I don't get it. I just truly don't get it. That bothers me. Oh, all right. I love you guys. I want you to have a good evening. I'm going to work on this theory, get it more, let it blow a little bit more and see where the day takes me tomorrow. I said 4 o'clock, but I think it'll be more like 9 o'clock when we come on. I'm trying to do late night ones because with summer here, I want to enjoy my summer a little bit, and I have never done that. I have always had little kids in school, then they get out of school, and I always had something I had to do, and so I enjoy these 9 o'clock sessions with you guys that lets, like, the dogs are asleep, the kids are asleep, it's quieter, and you guys get, like, more relaxed, I think, being able to not feel like that pressure of the next thing, because it's more at the end of the day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We will walk through this series. Like I said, I'll try to put more pieces together. You guys do your thinking, too. If you come up with something, make sure and put it in the comments below, adding on to the theory, right, that you want me to bring into my storyline. And if I feel it fits real good with what we've been told, I will add it to the storyline. It'll be one big 11/11 family theory here. And everybody can have a different theory. We're just working on this one. So let's sum it up a little bit. We've got that, switching cars after dinner. Mama, let's say Grandma Bauer heading back to the house with Katie's phone and car. Katie and Mama Bauer's car with Sebastian. You got it. We go from there. But yeah, hit me up with more details that might fit that scenario so that we can put this all together. I can put some glue to it and we can stick it down on the paper and see, tentatively what the scenario would look like if we sorted it out. Oh, I love that rocket ship. Starlight Moonbeam Spoon. You rock. You all rock. You all rock. And blessed be y'all, says blessed Texan in Montana. I love you guys to the moon and back. God bless you all. Oh, our video ran out too. Love ya. Bye for now. See you tomorrow night.